What's going on, guys? So I know I haven't been doing a ton of rack store videos lately because every time I go it's just a giant disappointment and I end up not with a video, and I don't want to keep putting out videos of, well, didn't find anything again. So I felt we would do a little bit of a recap because it's a good point in the year. We're getting closer to the tail end, and go over my best finds this year in 2022 in the rack stores. Now, I could have made it around 10 just to have 10, but I figured the other two would have been filler because it's really 8 that I was really excited that I got my hands on this year, whether it be because how much I liked them after I picked them up or how excited and happy I was to come across them in the first place. So let's talk about these 8. Stay tuned. Starting with my favorite rack store pickup of the year, one of my favorite pickups of the year, and in general, it's Missoni Wave. A lot of you probably expected to see this. I found this at TJ Maxx for 32 bucks. I've loved this. I wore it a ton through the late spring, early summer. I've wore it through every facet of my day, during the day, in the evenings, out the shower. I've worn it to the gym. I'm an advocate for this fragrance. I absolutely love it. It's a poor man's Chanel Allure Homme Sport with a little bit of Versace Pour Homme sprinkled in there. Performance is above average for me. Not super loud, but it's loud enough. It will get you noticed. I have gotten a few compliments from time to time with wearing it. I wouldn't call it some compliment magnet, but it has the type of DNA that, stands a pretty good chance at pulling a nice compliment in. Like I said, performance is solid on it. Price is good. If I run across it again at the rack stores, I'll probably scoop another bottle. But you never know, because I didn't put a huge dent so far this year, but I definitely dropped the juice level a little bit. Now that we're moving into fall, it'll be a lot more rare, a bit more rare anyways, that I wear it. But I do love the scent profile. It is my favorite rack store pickup of the year. I figured we'd start the video right, talking about Missoni Wave. Next, I found this one at Marshall's for 25 bucks for 50 ml. I was literally out there looking for this fragrance. This fragrance was the reason I went to Marshall's, and I just so happened to find it. Davidoff Cool Water Parfum. Yep. I love this stuff. This is, in my opinion, the most versatile version of Cool Water. Just the flat out best. The best version of Cool Water. May just be me. I don't care. I love it. It's got some citrus up top. It's got a little bit of an earthy, smoky, woody vetiver. Not too earthy, but it does add a little bit darker, more serious and refined edge to it. There's some bright pink pepper that adds this fresh, spicy tone to the scent. It does have a little bit of an ambroxan feel, even though that's not listed in the notes. It has a little touch of that shower gel ambroxan feel, but not a lot of it. It is long-lasting. It's not super loud. It's pronounced for the first few hours, but then it leaves a decent little sillage because it's a higher oil concentration. It doesn't wear heavy like a high-density Parfum, but closer to like a high-level EDP, to where it'll linger a little bit. Performance and projection and all that stuff isn't crazy, but the longevity's definitely there. This is 8+ hours every time I wear it. This is great stuff. This is one that if I do come across another 50 ml, I will grab another bottle so I have a solid 100 milliliters of this, because I'm a big fan of this fragrance. This stuff is great, signature scent worthy type of stuff. If you come across this one, I say it's worth rolling the dice. It's not going to be as playful as some of the other flankers like your Cool Water Intense and your summer heavy flankers like Cool Water Wave and Grapefruit and Sage. Some of those fragrances are a little bit more playful, not quite as serious, a bit more of a fun fragrance. This one has a little bit more refinement to it, but can still double as a nice casual fragrance. Definitely one of my favorite rack store finds this year. Davidoff Cool Water Parfum. So this is one I put off getting for a really long time. I saw it at Nordstrom Rack. I figured, why not? It's time to pull the trigger. I grabbed a 50 ml bottle of Azzaro Chrome Pure because it is no secret that I'm a big fan of the Azzaro Chrome line. I usually get the flankers as I come across them or as I get to the point to where I really want to smell one of them. And this is one I knew eventually I was going to get my hands on. I knew I would like. It has this creamy citrus. It's a little soft and herbal. There's a nice woody tone. Of course, it has a light aquatic feel, but it's not a very aquatic fragrance. It's not like super watery or sea salty in any way. This is just easy going. I've been wearing this one out the shower predominantly. Great casual everyday wear. But it's one that for me personally, I just see myself wanting to go back to it over and over, out of the shower, relaxing in the evenings. Could be because of this herbal tea note. I think it's a mate note that's in the base that provides this relaxing tone to the fragrance. But it's one that I'm glad that I finally got my hands on. 50 ml goes a very long way with me. I don't have to have the 100 milliliter bottle. I don't wear it enough to where I would think that I need to grab another bottle, but it's not like it's hard to find. You can find them all over online. But I happened to run across it in the rack store and figured, why the hell not? Here we go. I'm happy to have it for sure because I love the line. It's Azzaro Chrome Pure. This next fragrance is one I had been wanting to run across at Burlington for quite some time. Well over, probably in the realm of close to 2 years. I was waiting to run across this because these Banana Republic fragrances tend to be around $20. Now they're $23. Inflation, prices went up at the rack stores, of course. But I was so happy to come across Tobacco and Tonka Bean from the Icon line from Banana Republic. This stuff is so good. It has this creamy cooling effect for this soft, powdery, sweet tobacco smell. Oh, so good. I'm spraying that again. So good. Any of you that have this fragrance or have smelled this fragrance, you know where I'm coming from. This is such a beautiful scent for the cooler months. We're starting to move into the cooler months. It was in the low 60s today. That's why I'm wearing this crew neck, this light crew neck in the first place. It's nice and cool outside. We're starting to really get into that weather where I can pull stuff like this out. So I'm so happy to have this. Absolutely worth the $23 that you can find this for. Performance is slightly above average. It's not a beast in any way, but it's super attractive. And this is one of those tobacco scents that I think is much more unisex than most tobacco scents out on the market because it's soft, powdery, and creamy. And there's a nice sweetness here, vanilla tonka bean type of smell. It's beautiful. It is an absolutely beautiful fragrance. I'm so thrilled to have this in my collection. Don't hesitate if you see that one out there. You could do so much worse with $23 on a fragrance than Tobacco and Tonka Bean. In the same video, same haul, I happened to grab Dark Cherry and Amber. This is another one that I was eager to get my hands on. If you look online, people will show comparisons to Baccarat Rouge 540. Not a lot. I don't find it that similar. It's kind of a sour black cherry note. They do have a little bit of a gourmand sweetness here. A little bit of a floral tone. It's very ambery at the same time. It's nice and warm. It does lean a little too feminine for some, I'm sure, but for me, perfectly unisex fragrance. I love this stuff. I was equally as excited to find this as I was to find this. And I walked out spending less than $50, right around $48, $49 after taxes to get both of these. Super thrilled to get these. Finally came across them. I tend to pick up the majority of the fragrances from the Icon line because they're usually fantastic. Super bargain steals when you find them at these rack stores. Burlington is usually a hotbed for Banana Republic fragrances in my experience anyways. So super happy to have this one. Don't be afraid to try it. Just because what you read on the internet is one thing, your experience may be totally different. Again, take my opinion with a grain of salt. Find a way to get your nose on this one. Try it. You may end up loving it because I love cherry fragrances. I love amber. I like a little bit of sour fruitiness. Like all the aspects of this I find are beautiful. Even that nice floral tone. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Very happy to find this one. Banana Republic, Dark Cherry, and Amber. Now this is one that I found at, I want to say it was Marshall's. It might have been Ross. It might have been Ross Dress for Less. But this is the 2022 summer flanker for Tommy Summer Ocean Wave. I was expecting to be underwhelmed and it'd just be okay, but it's actually better than that. There was a stretch for a few weeks early in the summer where I was wearing this one a lot to the gym. I was wearing it out to shower. That was the main reason I was wearing it. It's got this tropical palm leaf type of smell going. It's tropical fruitiness. It's watery and aquatic. There's a little bit of spice in the backdrop that's got this warming effect to it, but it's an overall tropical summer breezy type of fragrance. Very true to the name. It does have an oceanic feel without being just some super generic aquatic. It has a little bit of a distinctive characteristic in the scent profile that I don't really get from all the other summertime flankers that these companies come out with. $20 for this 100 ml. I ended up really liking this one. I really do like this fragrance more than I anticipated. And I dropped the juice level down a decent amount. I'll be rocking this one again next summer. It's pretty much strictly going to be a summer wear because it has this tropical feel to the scent profile, so I deem it perfect for the high heat. So I'm kind of going to wear it exclusively for that. But if you see this one out there, you could do a lot worse with 20 bucks on a fragrance. This is actually a solid pickup and better than last year's 2021 summer flanker from Tommy. Again, that's Tommy Hilfiger, Tommy Summer Ocean Wave. So there is 2 cool water flankers in this video. I could not exclude this one because I've been wearing it a lot since I got it. Grapefruit and Sage. No surprise here if you've been watching recent content. I love this stuff. I found this at Marshall's when I was visiting Houma, Louisiana, back in my hometown a couple of weeks ago. More like a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago. I really like this fragrance. It's as simplistic as the name indicates, grapefruit and sage. It's got a creamy grapefruit smell. This nice aromatic, lightly fresh spiced, slightly musky type of sage to the fragrance. That's the extent of the fragrance. That's what you get start to finish. The grapefruit subsides, the muskiness comes in more to replace it. That's the name of the game from start to finish, but performance is well above average. It's not a beast, but it's definitely a stronger fragrance than I thought it would be. I paid 27 bucks for this 125 milliliter 4.2 ounce bottle, and I think it's a bargain at that price point. They've been showing up at Nordstrom racks. They've been showing up at Burlington's. They're out and about. It's not going to blow you away. It is typical blue fragrance type of smell because of all this sage and citrus, but it's not a fragrance you can't enjoy. I mean, it's not going to blow people away. But it's so easygoing, easy to reach for. This is another one of those mindless grabs. And when I say mindless grab, I mean there's no thought that goes into it. There's no preparation. There's no strategizing for, I'm going to be here, I want something that suits this setting, or I'm going to be wearing this attire, I want something that suits this wardrobe. It's a thoughtless fragrance. It don't matter what you're wearing. You can just grab this, spray this. You will be good to go. It will last most of your day. And if somebody smells you, I highly doubt they'll think you don't smell great. It's a really good fragrance. I ended up liking it more than I thought I would. And did a full review not that long ago on it. One of my favorite cheap fragrance pickups at the rack stores this year. Davidoff Cool Water, Grapefruit and Sage. Last but not least, I was shocked when I came across this one. I want to say it was at Burlington. I picked it up. Didn't hesitate. It was like 15 bucks. I think this is a 75 ml. It is a 75 ml. Kind of like a slightly sweeter and spicier take on Dolce & Gabbana The One. That's what it most often gets compared to. And it's similar, but not one-to-one. We're talking about David Beckham, Intimately Beckham. This is actually a really solid fragrance. I like to wear this one in the evenings, as you would expect with something like this. Out the shower. I did wear it to dinner one time. I haven't had it that long, so I haven't put a ton of wear into it, but I have wore it about a handful of times at this point. And for $15, this is actually a really good fragrance. It doesn't smell expensive. It does smell on the cheaper side, but out in the air, it's not going to smell like that. If you're smelling directly off skin, you're really into fragrances, yeah, it's going to smell cheap and synthetic. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not. But for most, especially if you're on a budget, a real strict budget where you don't have, 50 to 100 bucks to spend on a fragrance, and finding a nice little gem for 15 bucks could go a long ways for you. This is a nice little gem for 15 bucks that I think can go a long way for a lot of people. Even with my massive amount of fragrances that I own, I find uses for this. I like this scent profile. I can find the good in most, and there's a lot to like about this fragrance. It's not some beast. It's intimate setting, just like the name would imply, where it's a puller in close type of scent. It's not going to be really loud. It's not too in your face. It leaves room to be discovered, but it also is very desirable once discovered. It's a good fragrance. It's a really good fragrance. If you see this one out there for 15 bucks, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat if you're looking for an evening scent for $15. There's not too many that I would say can hold a candle to it for under 20 bucks. That's great for the evenings. I was very happy to find this one. This is David Beckham, Intimately Beckham. Well, that's the 8 that I have for you today. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. What did you guys pick up at the rack store this year that you were just happy to get? Even if you were a little skeptical when you purchased it, once you started spraying it on your skin, you ended up really liking it. What are some of those fragrances for you guys? I'd love to read that down in the comments. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the 8 that I was happy to find this year and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Some affordable gems for sure. Have a good one, guys.